Alrighty, a gatekeeper here. Alright, buddy, we got your Silver Eagle 350 right here. This is a amplifier that used to be one of my personal amps that I purchased not in working order, and I repaired. There's a cigarette, by the way. That I repaired and sold on eBay, and a fella got it, and appeared to, had been using it for a few months or whatever, and it finally failed on them. And basically, go ahead and point that out to you now, bud. The resistor that you replaced here, basically what that is your input pad, your input attenuation pad resistor. All that means is your RF. When you put this thing on low, when you put this on low, what happens is it flows through that. It was a 47 ohm resistor. I didn't have a 47 around. I just went ahead and used a 43, which is perfectly fine. So it just flows through that resistor when you're on low, and when you're on high, it bypasses it. Then it goes on and flows through the 330, and then goes on to the input. So I went ahead and replaced that and put a big 5-watt resistor on there, so I don't think you'll be blowing that. But basically, bud, you were running it on low. You were running it on low, and just drove a little bit too much power into it, maybe for a little long period of time, or whatever it was. There was a really small, like a 1/2-watt resistor in there, and it should have been a lot bigger than that. It should have at least been a 2-watt. So it wasn't nothing completely wrong on your part, bud. I'll jot this down as a note. In the future, man, on any of these 350s, I'll go ahead and replace them with a 5-watt. So it is back working properly. This is just an old amp, I noticed the switches was moving around, and there's really no way to stop that but to do what I just did here. I put you some hot glue on here. I like to use hot glue for certain things like that, just in case you ever need to replace the switch. You can get that hot glue off real easy, rather than if I used epoxy or something, then you'd have a little problem getting that off real easy. And the same thing with the LEDs over here, man. That, instead of taking them LEDs off and putting holders in there, I just went ahead and put a dab of hot glue back there to keep those stationary. Okay, so those ain't moving at all now. And put a little hot glue back here on this relay to keep it stationary. That's one thing about this repair, is that the actual trace was blown in about 2 or 3 places under the board. So what I had to actually do on this particular repair here is I actually had to extend each trace over to an external relay right here for the preamp, if you can see that. All right, bud. Let's see. Your next complaint was that the remote didn't work. And I think, bud, I've already hooked the remote up and it works just fine. I think maybe you were a little confused on how the remote works. And I'm going to clean this up for you too, man. The tape that's on it's got a bad residue on the wire now. And also, the plastic piece that was on here kind of just shattered when you grabbed onto it. And that is my fault. I'm going to go ahead and admit when something's my fault. Basically, I ordered a bulk of these off eBay, and I was not aware of it until about 1 or 2 times after this one, because this was the first time I had used one out of the bulk of 100 of them. Basically, I've done got my money back now, but the plastic's just, I don't know, man. I don't know if it's just old or what, but it's so brittle that you can just put just a little bit of pressure on it and it'll break. So I don't got my money back for all them, man. So I'm gonna take this off and put you a good metal one on there for you, man. So you won't have to worry about that no more. So I'm going to go ahead and plug this remote in. I did modify this amplifier with a remote, with the remote port. So we'll go ahead and plug that in now. Alrighty. Alright, let's go ahead and kick the power on. Alright, I think this is what you might have been confused about. Basically, this remote is designed for you to be able to turn your amplifier on and off. So, your on and off switch, your power switch needs to be in the off position as it is now. See, that's the on position. Now, if I have this power switch on in the on position, then this remote is not going to be usable because it's already on. See what I'm saying? Alright, I'm going to turn it back off. And as you see, the power switch is turned off. Okay? The power switch is turned off. Alright, see that? We're going to turn it back off. Alright, that fades off because it's got automatic sideband on it. Alright, the switch is turned off, you see. Switch is turned off. Alright, now we're going to turn it on. Now the amp is on. Okay, you see what I'm saying now? I think that might have been what you were a little confused about. Let's get this so we can get them both in view here. Alright. So basically what this is doing, man, is this right here is becoming your on and off switch. So if you're going to use your remote, you're just going to leave this on and off switch in the front off, because that's why you have your remote plugged in, so you can now use this as your on and off switch. You see what I'm saying? Okay. On. See? Off. Alrighty, and just for the sake of it, I'm just going to turn it back on, just leave the remote hooked up. Go ahead and show you the power output. It's still rocking like it was before. I'm going to turn it on low first. We're putting about 4 watts from the radio. Show you that real quick. That, see that's another thing I need to tell you about. That's a good little thing I just saw. Because just by habit, I was coming over here to turn this amp off, but I went to turn it on. See, this switch basically is completely disabled right now. And the reason why it's disabled pretty much is because the remote switch is sending power through this wire, through this other wire, all the way down that cord of that switch, through the pole of that switch, back up through here, and because of that, now it's being fed backwards up to the switch, and that's why your LEDs come on. So there's power on the opposite pole of this switch. Okay, so this right here is disabled, so to say. It's not really disabled, but it doesn't matter what position it's in, because there's power being fed through the back end of it to your relay and LED. So this becomes your all-time power switch when it's plugged in. So to turn the amp off, so I can show you what I'm doing barefoot, I have to turn it off with the remote. Okay? And like I said, you know, it's going to give you a second for the LED to slowly turn down. The reason why that is because it has automatic sideband in it, and that delay cap holds a little bit of negative charge, negative DC voltage in it, and just gives it a second to discharge when you turn it off. That's why automatic sideband amplifiers are. All right, show you what we're going to be putting into it. Alrighty, right there, about 21 watts. Alright, now here's the thing about it. The remote's off, right? I ain't got the remote on. Now you can go over to the power button and turn it on. Okay? And you can turn it off as long as this switch is turned off. But like I said, if you have a remote plugged in, then it's plugged in for a reason, so this becomes your on and off switch. But as long as this switch is turned off on the remote, you can use your power switch. As you see, the LED on the remote turns on too. Okay, but if you have this switch turned on, then it ain't gonna matter. It ain't gonna matter what position this switch is in, because it's got power going to it, because basically this remote overrides that switch. Okay, I think you probably have that now. So that's good news though, man. There ain't nothing wrong with the remote, other than I just need to replace that end on there, man, and get you a good metal one on there. Alright, man, we got it on low. Over here on the bird meter. Yeah. Close to 100 bird, man. Close to 100 bird. Alright, we're going to kick it on high. 410 watts. I am on 15.3 volts too. That's just what I had it on. Okay. There you go. 15.3 volts. That's just what I already had it on. I ain't gonna worry about turning it down anymore. Alright. Show you this good 100 bird watt swing. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. 100 strong bird watts, my friend. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. You see, if we put it back on low, see the current that is pulling on high. Put it back on low. See the difference? See, that's that 43 ohm resistor. See, it's flowing through that 43 ohm resistor in series when you have it on low. Oh, see, look at that. It still swings right there, almost at, 15 amps. Oh, and see, you put it on high. Oh, see, it's not swinging that much more. Maybe about 3 or 4 more amps. So she's working good, man. Like I said, this is a 5 watt now. I mean, that puppy's cold as a cucumber, man. I could hit it with a hot radio over here, man. Would probably see about 150 bird out of it, but I'm not going to push it. You're getting your 350 watt PEP. Actually, about 400 PEP out of it. So this puppy's good to go. We'll probably come back one more time. Don't hold me to it, but I plan on coming back one more time, because I know there's 1 or 2 more things you wanted me to do to it. I know you wanted me to add, there goes my mic. I know you wanted me to add a fan on the bottom of it, and we'll get the remote fixed up for you. And I can't remember if that was you that asked me to add Velcro to the bottom of the remote. Nah, I think actually that was somebody else with a Y mode. Okay. So anyway, man, we'll go ahead and get the cover put back on it and get you a fan put on the bottom of it, man, and probably put you 2 feet, probably put you 4 feet on the top cover so you can put it upside down. You could possibly put some legs on here, but I'm not going to go that route with this one. So a lot of people just turn the amp upside down. I know it'd be a lot easier if you just take this front right here and switch. Turn it, it'd be a lot better. Actually, if you ask me, they should have done it that way, man. But when they designed these amps, man, they mostly designed them for pretty much 5 watts input. So, running 5 watts input, you don't really need a fan. So that's why a lot of these amps like this don't have fans on them. Or, like I said, these ain't switched so that, so the heat sink sits up, so you can put a fan on it and still have your switches upright. So, well, there you go, man. So that's good news, man. You good to go, man. That didn't have to do much at all, man. Just had to throw a little resistor in there. So, looks like, man, I'm just gonna sew this up under warranty, probably, brother. Didn't have to put hardly no labor into it at all, man. You know, we'll just clean you up a little bit there, man. I hate, you know, you were about to sell this cotton picker on eBay until I found you. You had lost my contact information, so I think I'm just going to write this on off, brothers. Just let it be under warranty, man, you know. You just drove it a little bit too hard, but we strengthened that up now. So you should be okay now, man. You should just go back the way you were running it. You know, as long as you ain't swinging back on your amperage meter, on your RMS meter, you'll be fine, man. You'll be good to go, man, because this is a little high drive amp. It ain't, you know, super high drive, but it is still considered high drive. All right, I'm going to stop blabbing my mouth, y'all. I got to get my butt in the bed, and I got to make another video of that one right there, and that one back there, and a couple other ones around here. So we'll see you. God bless. Hey, man, I ain't trying to be the best. I'm just trying to hang with the rest. God bless y'all. I appreciate y'all watching, subscribing to me. It means a lot to me, man. That's what keeps me going. Hey, y'all keep me going. And a little bit of love on my end, and we good and gone. All right, brother, we are done. I'm going to sit here and go through everything with you. On the remote wire, the remote wire had a lot of sticky residue on it from the tape that was used to wrap the wires up. And just being around here in the garage here, man, a lot of cat hair got on it and just, you know, looked nasty, man. So I spent about 30 minutes or so just using some acetone. Windex just wouldn't get the job done, man. Just used some acetone, man, and got all the scuffs off of it and got all that sticky residue off, man. Made it look brand new for you. And see, I use tie straps, man. I used to use black electrical tape, but back in the days there, man, but that left a real bad residue on tape and stuff too, man. So I went ahead and got that cleaned up, man. Went ahead and replaced your plug for you, bud. You know, the one that was on there, man, I had got a bad batch of plugs and didn't know it. And it wasn't the plugs, the actual plastic part, man. You just squeeze them, man, it'd break, man, in your hand. So I went ahead and put a new plug on you for you there, bud. Let's go ahead and plug this up. I like using these little computer ATX plugs, man. I definitely got a lot of them. I take off fans and stuff. Alrighty. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and turn this light on real quick and just go over this real quick. Alright, what I went ahead and did is I went ahead and drilled and put you 4 feet on here for you, okay? Basically, that gives you the option. I wouldn't really recommend letting the fan sit like this. I mean, there is enough air for it to suck up around it to hit this, man. But I mean, the very ideal thing would do if you would like the amp to sit like this right here is to get you some metal legs, some L brackets, and just put you an L bracket on each corner and just let that thing sit on the L bracket. Maybe put some rubber adhesive feet on the L bracket or whatever so it can sit like this. I actually was going to do that for you, man, as a surprise, but I found 3 L brackets and I couldn't find the dang 4th one, man. So I was going to hook you up there, man. A little surprise for you. The L bracket came just a tad bit lower than the fan, man. It would have worked out perfect. So you can either do it like this. Look at that right there, man. That looks beautiful, don't it? You can do it like that, or like that. Okay. Let me go ahead and plug the remote in. All right. All right, brother, we got the remote plugged in. As you remember me mentioning earlier in the in the video, the amp is in the off position up here up front. Okay, So now this becomes your on and off. So there you go. The only thing this remote doesn't do is your preamp, which you know, that can easily be put on a remote as well. You can basically put anything on a remote. The only thing you really can't put on the remote is a variable. The reason why is you can't send RF through a long wire like that. And, you know, once it makes it to the actual pot and goes back, you pretty much ain't gonna have no power left. So there's other ways to do that I've been playing around with, and you should see some new videos. Of course, you can do a high-low medium and just send the you actually just use the high-low medium switch on the remote, and all that's really do is just changing which relay is in the on position. But there's even a better way that I've been playing around with, to where you do have a variable, but it's a total different approach. But so you can look out for some future videos for that. But man, we got you all set up. You done seen the power this puppy's producing. There's one last thing I need to tell you that I did. Just let the remote hang there. Go ahead and turn this off. All right, I looked down at the amp, and of course, you know, I painted the outside of the box, man. Sanded it down and painted it the first go around when you first purchased it off eBay. The thing I noticed is just sitting here looking at the amp, you could see rust down here, just like this right here, just rust. It was on the inside of the case. I hated the way that looked, man. So I went ahead and sanded that down, man, and painted that a gray Rust-Oleum. Used some Rust-Oleum paint, so you know you won't have to deal with no rust no more, man. So I went ahead and painted the whole inside, and you ain't got my little crazy signature of Gatekeeper written in there, but I don't know, maybe that did help last time. You know, a buddy of mine actually seen this listed on eBay because you couldn't find me. You had lost my information. And if I guarantee you, if he would not have seen that Gatekeeper amps wrote on here, he would have never known. So it wouldn't be here now. So I don't know. I've thought about maybe labeling amps after I repair them, but I just ain't really got to doing all that yet, man. You know, I think some of that's pride, but you know, I'm kind of a meek fella, man, when it comes to this stuff, because it's just a hobby, man. I love doing it. You know, I'm not exactly trying to push myself out there, man. I have fun handling what I got, man. I can't even work on my own stuff. All right, the only other thing I would like to mention that you might want to do, as you see this stuff is coming off a little bit, I love the way they do these amps more or less to silk screen, because the way the silk screen peels at the corners, I like this way, but they do get rubbed off. If you want to in the future, man, take you some acetone, get the rest of this off where it says 350. Use a Q-tip or whatever, some acetone, get the rest of it off. Wipe it really good, and go get you some lettering, man, that resembles this font, and put 350 on there. Man, this thing look brand new, man. This thing look brand new. I would do it for you if I had the materials here. I got some lettering here, man, but it just didn't really look too good, because I was going to do that for you too. But all right, man, we done, big brother. We're going to get this thing shipped back to you, man. And I hope you enjoy, and I hope it brings many more years to you, brother. Heck, man, hope it lasts the rest of your life, big brother, if you keep it that long. That's what we all hope, bro. Have a good one, man. 73s to you. God bless, and I appreciate your patience, my friend. And I think there was something else I was going to say. I think I was going to tell everybody, y'all just be patient with me on the emails. I got quite a few emails backed up, man. So y'all just be patient with me on that. We're just busy, man, doing all we can do to make it to the next day out here. So 73rd, y'all. Mr. Gatekeeper, Northeast Georgia. I'm good and gone.